Hello, I'm David Barlow. I'm a car accident lawyer here in Honolulu, Hawaii. Welcome to our website. This video should be on our car accident page right there. Well, you're probably there if you already clicked on it, but yeah, this is going to be the video that discusses what the information that's on the car accident page under the practice areas. Car accidents is our primary practice area. It's basically all that we do. Actually, most of the accidents there are, basically car accidents, wrongful death, pedestrian injuries that probably involved a car, motorcycle, that may have involved a car as well, bicycle, insurance claims for car accidents. So almost everything that we do is for car accident cases, okay? We do a few slip and fall accidents if they happen at stores, but primarily we do car accidents. So this page will discuss some of the aspects of an auto accident claim in Hawaii. The first part of the claim is called no fault insurance. It's also known as personal injury protection. So that's going to be the first, basically one of the first steps that we help you with as your injury lawyer, is to get you set up so that the car that you're in, that is the car that pays the no-fault insurance. All right, I know it's kind of counterintuitive, it doesn't make sense, gets a lot of people upset actually, because it's the other car that injured you. So a lot of people don't understand why your own insurance is paying money for your medical bills when it wasn't your fault. But that is called no-fault insurance here in Hawaii. If you look at the reasoning behind it, it kind of makes sense because some car accidents it's up for debate. It's up for argument whose fault it was. So the most important thing when you're in an accident is to get your medical treatment right away. But let's say you don't have personal health insurance, or you're just worried about medical bills in general. Some people might avoid getting medical treatment because they're not sure what the insurance companies are going to decide as far as whose fault the accident was. So some people wait for a few days or a week or a month to find out, did the other driver's car insurance accept fault for this accident or not. And so instead of cutting that all out and having people waiting to get treatment, they wrote the laws this way to say, hey, as long as you're driving a car that has car insurance, then that insurance company has to provide $10,000 in medical benefits. It's called no-fault insurance. So we get you set up with that right away so that you're not worried. Hopefully you went to the ER that first day or the next day and got checked out, or maybe even the ambulance. And so we start making sure these medical bills are paid by your no-fault insurance. That's really, really important. If those bills go to your health insurance, that really messes things up, and we got to try to get that reversed so that these bills are paid by your no-fault insurance. So that's kind of one of the first things we get you going with. Obviously, we have to contact the insurance adjusters to do that. So right away, we're going to be contacting the insurance adjuster for your own car insurance so that we can get that no-fault insurance, and then the insurance company for the other driver's insurance. So minimum, you got 2 insurance companies contacted right away. They're going to want to start taking statements and researching and investigating the accident. That's why it's so important to hire a lawyer as soon as possible, because things move fast, okay? When these insurance adjusters find out about an accident, they drop everything, and they jump on it, because they know if they can get a hold of you to start having you give a statement and do stuff without a lawyer involved, then they have a higher chance of shutting you down and limiting the amount that they have to pay, right? That's insurance companies' number one goal for everything, is to reduce what they have to pay. All right, they are in the business of paying out things when people are in accidents, but they want to keep that down as much as possible. All right, they have a lot of ads to pay for. As you know, ads for insurance companies are on all the time. We all know the Geico ad, the State Farm ads, the Nationwide ads, the Progressive ads. We can sing their little songs, and we know all the Geico jokes. That's because insurance business is so lucrative. All right, they're going to spend most of their money on advertising because they got to get as many customers as possible. Because you're paying all this money, and then you're in an accident, and they're like, no, we don't want to pay you anything. I know you paid us for the past 13 years, but now it's our turn to pay you back, and no, we're going to try to trap you. We're going to hurry and call you before you hire a lawyer. That's just really important, right? Because the first day, maybe you're not even feeling all of your injuries yet. A lot of strains and sprains and soft tissue injuries don't show up till the next day. It's the inflammation that starts to hurt, right? To show when it's not, fractured bones are gonna immediately, right? Oh, this is really bad. But a lot of other injuries don't show up for a day or two. So if they can call you that very first day, like 2 hours after the accident, and they say, "Oh, can we record this? Do a recorded statement?" "Oh yeah, sure, why not?" "Were you injured?" "Oh, a little bit, not really." "Oh, so your back is okay?" "Yeah, I think it's all right." Oh, they want this all recorded, and then they will lock that down forever. So you call them 2 days later, "Hey, I need you to pay my medical bills. I found out, this is a lot worse than I thought. I woke up the next morning, I couldn't move my neck. You guys got to pay a lot of bills." And like, wait a minute, nope, you already said in a recorded statement that you're not injured. So you can see why it is so important to hire a lawyer as soon as possible. We recommend you don't even talk to the insurance companies at all until you have a lawyer. I know that might seem a little extreme, especially if it's just a call and say, "I got an accident, my car is totaled, I need a rental car, I need you guys to start working on this." That may seem normal, and it probably might be okay. The main thing is to not give a recorded statement about your injuries. That's when things start to get out of control. Okay, but if it's just talk about the car damage, you might survive it if you don't have a lawyer involved that first day. But obviously we don't recommend it. We do not recommend talking to insurance companies without a lawyer hired. And it's okay, right? That's part of their strategy, is to call you saying, "Oh, we got to do this recorded statement now. Like, this is critical. We can't pay anything until we do this." So believe me, they are very, very good at what they do. All right, these are not amateurs. They are professionals at not paying claims. So you got to have a professional on your side. I hate to admit it. Like, I wish the world wasn't like that, where you got in a car accident and the adjuster truly was like, "Dude, I got the checkbook ready. Just tell us how much, where to send it. We got you." It's not like that. All right. You got these companies with shareholders that are trying to make as much as they can, and it's at your expense. So that's, those are some of the big things that happen right at first. Throughout the process, we're going to deal with the insurance companies. Make sure all your medical bills are paid up to that $10,000. Once you've completed all of your treatment, that's when we really, crank it up and start ordering all of your medical records, medical bills. We summarize it all. We send it to the insurance company with what's called a demand letter. That's kind of saying, I call it a request for settlement. It doesn't sound as, as aggressive, I guess. But you send in that request for settlement, let them know, "Hey, I'm putting you on notice that this is my list of injuries and medical bills, wage loss. If you have any wage loss, you're going to want to get your lawyer all of that documentation, all of your pay stubs before the accident. We want to see what you were making before you were injured, and then that time that you're injured and you couldn't work, or you couldn't work as much, and then when you return to work." Okay, that way we have that timeline to show that period of time of the lower wages. All right, this is always hard. I don't know why it's so hard, but pay stubs are just like, they always just disappear. No one can ever find pay stubs, or they don't get pay stubs, or Maybe it's because a lot of companies, it's all online now. People just don't bother to go online and download their pay stub. I don't know what it is, but people always want to be paid back for their wage losses, but they don't, they're not able to provide the documentation. But we need the documentation. But anyway, we send it all to the insurance company. They're going to take a few weeks to review it all, and that's understandable. Yet some things in life, it's like, why does that take so long? But you'd be surprised how much medical records are involved just with treatment for a few months. The ER alone is like a stack of paper, like that much. You got pages and pages of all the lab results, and everything is very repetitive. So you got the radiology stuff, and then they repeat it, and 3 pages later. So medical records are very repetitive, but it's understandable. A lot of times we'll send a ream of paper to insurance adjusters, and they have to review it all. Their bosses are making sure they go through every single page and they find anything that's going to help them. So if you told one doctor, oh yeah, I'm better, I feel like I am before the accident, man, they are going to highlight that, circle it, and they're going to just run with that forever. So definitely always be careful what you tell your doctors. Obviously, you want to be truthful, you want to get better, but man, if you're not better, don't tell your doctor you're better. If they say, what's your pain on a scale of 1 to 10? It's not time to be tough. Like, it's a 2. Yeah, it's a 2. And they're there to help you. The insurance companies, they need to know. And if you say 2, that's them thinking, we don't have to pay hardly anything. They're almost better. That's like everybody's on at a 2 all the time. We're humans, right? I wake up with a sore back all the time. I'm always at like a 2 or 3 pain level. So keep that in mind. Everything you tell your doctor is going to be read by the insurance adjuster. All right. So they're gonna, hopefully after a few weeks, they're gonna make their initial settlement offer. All right. So don't be alarmed when it's a lot lower than you were hoping. It's gonna be lower anyway, probably, than you were hoping. Most people just expect a lot in this life. That's just human behavior, right? Everybody always wants a lot more, maybe than they deserve sometimes. So be prepared. It's going to be lower just because it is a negotiation process. All right. I wish it was straightforward, but it's, all these years in 2019, car lots are the same, right? Buying a used car is still as painful as it was 40 years ago, just because there just has to be this negotiation process for some reason. I know some car lots have tried to just have that sticker price and that's it, but they always fail because everybody always assumes, that's what you say the price is, but I know you can do better. And then they do better, and see, I knew it, that's not your real price. And same with insurance companies. So even if they did say, all right, let's just cut to the chase, we're not going to do a low settlement offer, we're going to offer you our maximum right now to begin with. And some of them try to do that, but you never believe them, right? You always try to get more. That's just, doesn't matter what they say, or even if it is a great settlement offer, we're always going to try to get you more. You got to trust your lawyer, okay? We get a percentage of the settlement, all right? So we're going to try to get you as much as we can. So if you're mad when the settlement offer comes, be mad at the insurance adjuster, but don't take it out on your lawyer. I know it's tempting. We're the ones you're talking to. But just keep in mind, we're going to do the best we can to get you the highest settlement offer possible. So they're going to offer an initial amount. We're going to go back and forth, hopefully for a couple months. If you got 3, 4, or 5 months, even better. Because if you can convince in negotiations, right, the number one thing you want to do is convince the person you're negotiating against that you truly will not accept it. Like, you're not in a hurry, you're not desperate, that offer is just not acceptable, and you walk away, right? If you've ever been to a country where you have to haggle for every little thing, well, I guess that happens at different, the swap meet here in town. If you just walk away, they're going to offer you something else. So you make an offer, they make a counter, I'm out of here. You start walking away. So the equivalent of walking away when you're negotiating with insurance companies is to sit back for a few weeks. Hopefully they're going to start calling you, right? They're going to start calling back. Hey, are you going to take my offer or not? Like, you want them to be concerned, like, oh, that's actually way too low. I need to get that up if we're going to get this settled. And, you know, in all honesty, some insurance adjusters don't really care at all if it settles or not, right? Everything in life is about work, right? Insurance adjusters, they want the least work possible, all right? So if you say, this is too low, I'm out of here, I'm going to go to court. They're like, okay, that's fine. It's off their desk either way. You know, as long as they kind of made a reasonable offer, then they don't get in trouble, right? But if it's off their desk, they don't care. You know, a lot of clients, they truly think that insurance adjusters is just desperate to settle. Like, they're just like, they gotta get this case settled or they're gonna lose their job. And it's just like, no, they don't really care. All right, they're gonna make a decent settlement offer to try to settle this, so there's a record of it. But in the end, you know, as long as they're reasonable, they don't care if you go to court or not. So we care, right? You care, but we can't let them know that we care. If you understood where I was going with that, right? They don't care if you go to court and spend a couple of years in court, but you care, right? You don't want to go spend 2 years in court. Yeah, your lawyer's doing almost all the work, but still, you're the one that's got to show up. You're the one that has to fill out the interrogatories. You're the one that has to sit in a deposition. It's not fun, okay? Going to court is not fun. So you want to do every single thing you can to get the case settled. So drag out the settlement negotiation as long as it takes to get them up to a good amount that you're satisfied with. All right, the definition of settlement, it usually means both sides are like, it's settled. All right, great, we'll move on. All right, a settlement does not mean one of the sides is like doing cartwheels and we got an awesome settlement. You know, settlement means both sides are like, okay, let's be done with this. We don't go to court and we move on. Okay, that's kind of how it usually works. Obviously, I hope, you know, it does happen sometimes. Sometimes we get a really, really good settlement offer, and even worse, a prize. Like I said, we've been doing this for over 10 years, so we've seen pretty much everything, right? We've done hundreds and hundreds of these injury car accident cases. We've pretty much seen it all. We pretty much have an idea. I like to say 80% of the time we have a pretty good idea what it's going to settle for. Whether the client is going to agree with that or not, that's another story. But we have a pretty good idea, you know, how it's going to end up in the end. All right. But 10% of the time, we're like shocked, like in a good way. Like, oh, wow, this is awesome. We would have taken like half that, but okay, you know? And the client's like, seriously? And all happy and jumping around. But that's kind of rare, okay? Like I said, that's like 10% of the time where you got an adjuster that's kind of just not a lot of oversight. The managers aren't really riding him. Like, wait, what did you offer for that? There's some adjusters that, you know, some of the smaller insurance companies, they're kind of more free to just offer what they want to get cases settled. But those are kind of rare and becoming rare, more and more rare all the time. Every year it's getting worse and worse. People are just getting more and more greedy. These shareholders of these insurance companies, they want more and more all the time. So they're hiring consultants. Wait, what? How can we offer less and less to get cases settled? And they're getting cheaper and cheaper lawyers to go to court. Like, you know, a lot of these insurance defense lawyers, they've told us on the side, like, oh yeah, they rip me off. They go through my timesheet every little 10 minutes. They try to take it off. So they have an army of cheap lawyers. They're not afraid of going to court, really. This is not like it was 10 or 20 years ago where, you know, insurance companies hated going to court. It was so expensive for them. Now they don't really mind anymore. Anyway, so that's how it's going to work. Hopefully we'll get you a good settlement at the end. You have our guarantee. We're going to do our best. We're going to answer your phone calls and your emails within one business day. We're going to use all of our experience and knowledge for the past over 10 years with hundreds of clients. We're going to use all that information to get you the best settlement possible, settlement offer possible, so we can get your case settled and you can move on with your life and forget about that bad experience of that car accident. All right, as always, feel free to give us a call anytime for free consultation. We'll be more than happy to talk to you and see if we can help you out. Okay? All right, thanks a lot.